Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. Thanks for stopping by again. Today, I'm going to jump into a text. This text is one that's not going to require a lot of, background. This is one of my favorite texts that is in the Zen tradition of Buddhism. It is called Zen Flesh and Zen Bones. I don't know if there's a lot of familiarity with this volume. It is very popular as far as a Zen text. I highly recommend it. It's awesome. Now, what it is, though, is just a collection of short little parables and stories that illustrate the Zen tradition and the Zen way of thinking. So I'm going to go over it, jump into that a little bit, and then I'm just going to read from them and expound on them a little bit. So, the Zen tradition was started, there was a healthy kind of, the precursor to Zen is, of course, Confucianism. This kind of cultural spirituality that was inherent in the Chinese culture and landscape before Buddhism arrived on mainland China. So when Buddhism got to mainland China, it was by a monk named Kumarajiva, and he brought a text called the Lankavatara Sutra. The Lankavatara Sutra is awesome, but it's very mind-oriented. It's oriented in disciplining your own mind. That's really what it's all about. And there's a lot of breaking down of mind states and, breaking down of everything, breaking down of the sense of self and the sense of mind and what it is. So the main propagator of Zen, the first Zen enlightened being that gained enlightenment and then propagated Zen Buddhist ideas throughout China was a monk named Bodhidharma. And Bodhidharma engaged in a practice called wall gazing. So even nowadays in Zen practice, they will, if you go into a Zen temple where they're practicing, the whole floor will be open, and then along the walls will be cushions facing the walls, and the practitioners will sit and meditate right up against a wall, just facing straight on a wall. And so even if you don't have to close your eyes, because if you open your eyes, there's nothing there to see either. Anyways, you're facing a wall. And so Bodhidharma had done that in a cave for years and years and years, and gained his enlightenment experience there. And when he did, Zen is a bit different than any other tradition of Buddhism, which is why I'm talking about it in itself even first, because Zen is a teaching that is pretty much concerned with only negation, just negating everything and getting to a spot where there's nothing that you can rest your mind or self on. There's no kind of there's no security. There is the only thing that there is that you can count on is change itself. And in that, that process and things transforming and becoming, that is what the name of the game is here. And so a lot of Zen, especially to a Western mind, is just this thing where, it's just a sledgehammer smashing through any kind of ideas or concepts that you might have. So I'm going to touch on some here, and hopefully you enjoy this, guys. I really enjoy what's in this book just for mind exercise and things like that. It's very interesting. So first one is called Right and Wrong. When Banki held his seclusion weeks of meditation, pupils from many parts of Japan came to attend. During one of these gatherings, a pupil was caught stealing. The matter was reported to Banki, with the request that the culprit be expelled, and Banki ignored the case. Later, the pupil was caught in a similar act, and again Banki disregarded the matter. This angered the other pupils, who drew up a petition asking for the dismissal of the thief, stating that otherwise they would leave in a body. Then, when Banki had read the petition, he called everyone before him. He said, "You are wise brothers. You know what is right and what is not right. You may go somewhere else to study if you wish, but this poor brother does not even know right from wrong. Who will teach him if I do not? I am going to keep him here, even if all the rest of you leave." A torrent of tears cleansed the face of the brother who had stolen, and all desire to steal had vanished. So, reform, right? Reform, not punishment. Another, your light may go out. A student of Tendai, a philosophical school of Buddhism, came to the Zen abode of Gisan as a pupil. When he was departing a few years later, Gisan warned him, Studying the truth speculatively is a useful way of collecting preaching material. But remember that unless you meditate constantly, your light of truth may go out. So, it's all about practice, right? Anybody can sit there and learn, and muse these philosophical concepts and things like that. But if you don't practice in your life, practice principles, meditate, and practice things like patience, kindness, then there's actually no real substance to what you might be saying, right? And the whole truth may elude you and not be able to communicate it even if you wanted to. The next is, I'll give a little introduction to the next part. It's called the Gateless Gate. It is kind of like riddles. Everybody's heard of like the Zen cone, which is like kind of a riddle. It's to break open your mind of preconceived ideas, like what is the sound of one hand clapping, things like that. So here's the little introduction for that. If you like sweet and easy living, skip this book. It is about men tremendously intent on being reborn and on enlightenment. It can happen to you. In a flashing moment, something can open. You are new all the way through. You see the same unsame world with fresh eyes. This universe-renewing power comes by grace, not logic. Whatever you do, or wherever you are, seems to make little difference. It doesn't make sense. It makes you. The one I want to touch on here is called A Buddha Before History. A monk asked Seijo, I understand that a Buddha who lived before recorded history sat in meditation for 10 cycles of existence and he couldn't realize the highest truth, and so could not become fully emancipated. Why is this so? Seijo replied, your question is self-explanatory. And the monk asked, since the Buddha was meditating, why could he not fulfill Buddhahood? Seijo said, he was not a Buddha. It is better to realize the mind than body. When body is realized, one need not when mind is realized, one need not worry about the body. When body and mind become one, that man is free, and he desires no praising. No merit, right? A big thing in Zen is that there's no merit to be gained. There's no merit for anything that you do. Because merit is a self-serving, egoistic kind of idea. The merit is, if there is any merit, because obviously, it's karma, you get good, you give good, there's good around. But you give that away. You shed that constantly in Zen practice. The Enlightened Man. Shogun asked, why does the Enlightened Man not stand on his feet and explain himself? And he also said, it is not necessary for speech to come from the tongue. If the feet of enlightenment moved, the great ocean would overflow. If that head bowed, it would look down upon the heavens. Such a body has no place to rest. Let another continue this poem. So, that's just the kind of thing that I was touching on with this kind of negating everything. There is no place to rest. There is no safe haven for you to like sit and be satisfied and, you know, just enjoy yourself ongoing. That's not life. That's not reality. In reality, we are here to persevere, you know. And knowing that and understanding process and understanding that change is what is actually a fundamental reality to what we are in gives you the understanding, like the enlightenment understanding of knowing that that's the way that it is, and not wishing for it to be otherwise, right? The last one, not the wind, not the flag. Two monks were arguing about a flag. One said, the flag is moving. The other said, the wind is moving. The sixth patriarch happened to be passing by, and he told them, not the wind, not the flag, mind is moving. The sixth patriarch said, the wind is not moving, the flag is not moving, mind is moving. What did he mean? If you understand this intimately, you will see the two monks there trying to buy iron and gaining gold. The sixth patriarch could not bear to see those two dull heads, so he made such a bargain. Wind, flag, mind moves, the same understanding. When the mouth opens, all are wrong. So, a big idea in Zen is that Zen cannot be communicated with words. It's not something that can be communicated with words. And what I've done here today is not communicate Zen, that's for sure. But what the words hopefully have done is just serve as a pointer, like a little finger pointing at what Zen is about. So I hope y'all enjoyed this book too. Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. It's a good one, and will give your mind a lot of food for thinking. Thank you, BookTube. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.